Dynasty owners, what's up? It's Jay Pounds. We got another weekly video for you guys. This week we are going to, obviously it's the off season now, but before we get fully into the off season, I'm going to do one more piece on the 2021 season, which it'll be an awards article. We'll hand out 11 awards to the best Dynasty owner players of the 2021 season. But before we get into that, as always, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave some comments. Before we jump into the awards, I am going to, instead of doing the weekly recap that I usually do, we'll go ahead and do a playoff preview for the week one matchups. The first matchup we got, we'll go ahead and hit the AFC first. We got the Steelers and the Chiefs. As you can see by my hat and my background, I'm a big Steelers fan. I don't have much hope for this game. The Chiefs and the Steelers played a couple weeks back, and it looked ugly. It didn't give me much optimism going into this week. I'll say that much as a Steelers fan. In the second matchup, we got the Raiders and the Bengals. This one, on paper, it shouldn't be a close game, I don't think. The Bengals are clearly the better team, but the Raiders have put up a dogfight all year, and I see them sticking around this game, but I do have the Bengals ending up moving on. The last AFC game, we got the Patriots and the Bills. As far as this game, this is my favorite matchup probably out of, I don't know if I'd say out of both conferences, but definitely out of the AFC. I don't think Mac Jones has enough, just as a rookie to get past Buffalo in Buffalo. Even with a great coach like Bill Belichick, I just don't think they got enough to get past them. Buffalo wins this one and moves on. In the NFC, I said we got two decent games in the NFC and then one that's probably going to be a blowout. We'll go ahead and hit the blowout first. We got the Eagles and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl a couple years back to the Philadelphia Eagles, and he is going to make the fans pay. We know little things like this eats at Tom Brady, and it's going to, or it eats away at Tom Brady, and it has been for several years, and I think you're going to see him happily take them out of the playoffs. In the second NFC matchup, we have the 49ers and the Cowboys. This should be a pretty good game, though the Cowboys have been really, really tough at home. It's in Dallas. Good old Jerry World. I think Dak Prescott stays hot at home, and the Cowboys advance in this one, though the 49ers do put up a nice little fight there. And then last but not least, we got the Cardinals versus the Rams. Divisional matchup. This is going to be the third time they played all year. The Rams have been somewhat inconsistent this year. They kind of go as Stafford goes. If he doesn't turn the ball over, they win the game. If he has turnovers, they tend to lose. So if Stafford can play smart football, the Rams win, and I ultimately think he does, and the Rams take it. The Cardinals have been kind of struggling. They did beat the Cowboys, but for the most part, it seems the back half of the season they just haven't been right. They don't have Nuke Hopkins, and I think that ends up biting them in the butt come crunch time. All right, that's all we got for the playoff matchups in week one. Stay tuned for week two. I'll go ahead and do this all the way up to the Super Bowl and just kind of keep track and see how I do. After that, we have the awards. The first one we have here, let me go ahead and get you guys the captions. As you see, the first award is the Terry Bradshaw Award, which is the top quarterback in all of Dynasty owner. The name behind this, I kind of gave a lot of them goofy names. Obviously, I'm a Steelers fan. That makes Terry Bradshaw the greatest quarterback ever. No, I'm just kidding. But nonetheless, this is the top quarterback award, and the winner, as you see there, is Josh Allen. He was on a $5 million just above $5 million for his contract for the year. He scored 503.3 Dynasty owner fantasy points, which is what the DOFP is, and the DDT/PT or DD/PT is the Dynasty dollars per point. So basically, how valuable they were in a sense to your team. And Josh Allen came in at 10,522 for that, which is a very good number for quarterbacks because, as we all know, they tend to be on a very high salary compared to their peers. At number 2, we have LaDainian Tomlinson. The LaDainian Tomlinson Award, which is Dynasty owner's top running back. And obviously, there was no competition in this one. The winner is Jonathan Taylor. He is on just about a $2 million deal, $2 million per year deal. And he scored 389.1 Dynasty owner fantasy points this season. Good enough for 5,030 Dynasty dollars per point, which is a very low number, especially for your RB1. You think Alvin Kamara is probably somewhere in the $30,000 range, if not higher. So them big contracts really hurt the value of these players, and that really plays into who gets what award and why. You got to value counts for a lot in Dynasty Owner, as most of you already know. At the third spot, we got the wonderful Juju Award, which is the top wide receiver. And I named it this because obviously I'm a Steelers fan, and Juju came into the league and just blew it up. And with his very, very cheap contract when he came in, he was a second round pick. He was just such a value, and if Dynasty owner were around then, he would have been such a good wide receiver to have for the 2017-2018 seasons. So we give that award to the top wide receiver in all of Dynasty owner, which is Debo Samuel. He is just under $2 million per year. He scored 339.1 Dynasty owner points, and he was a 5,343 Dynasty dollar per point value, which is, again, excellent. Anything in this 5,000, anything under 10,000 is an extremely good value for your roster, and it's really what you're looking for. If you can get 4 or 5 of those solid players like that are at, getting you in this 5,000 point range, you have a very, very good shot at winning your league, especially if they can stay healthy. At number 4, we have the Mike Dicka Award. This award goes out to the top tight end, and it's in honor to Mike Ditka's rookie year, where he just dominated the league. I mean, his record still stands. Kyle Pitts got an extra game. He gave it a run for the money, but he didn't quite get there. He did have a 1,000-yard season as a rookie tight end. That is fantastic, but it wasn't enough to get him this award. The winner is Mark Andrews. He's under $1 million per year. Scored you 303.1 Dynasty owner points, and that is good enough for under 3,000 Dynasty dollar points, or 3,000 Dynasty dollars per point. That's excellent value, especially the advantage he gives you from other tight ends. People are playing even Travis Kelce at $14 million. You're getting such an extreme value at that salary, in terms of Dynasty dollars per point. So Mark Andrews was an excellent value this year, but that all changes next year when his contract goes up to around $14 million, just like Travis Kelce. So he's going to have to continue what he did this year to really put any type of value into the contract he's about to get. Well, he's already got, but he's about to start playing on. At number 5, we got the real MVP award, which is the top kicker in all of Dynasty owner. I'm not going to spend much time at all on this one, but it was Matt Gay. He was 762,000. He scored 133 Dynasty owner points, good enough for under 6,000 Dynasty dollars per point, which is better than Josh Allen. So, you just needed Matt Gay, not Josh Allen. At number 6, we got the Dollar Tree Award, which is the best value in all of Dynasty owner. And, it gets the name from, Dollar Tree is a great value store. My kids love going there. But the winner of this is Hunter Renfro, $700,000 a year roughly. He scored 261.8 Dynasty owner points, good enough for a 2,708 Dynasty dollars per point value. That is unbelievable value for Hunter Renfro. He would have been the top wide receiver had he been a little bit more productive at the beginning of the year. It kind of really held him out from taking home 2 awards in this. But the price you paid for him, if you traded for him before the season, you probably gave him a 3rd-round pick. Maybe he was just a throw-in a deal or something like that for a bench player or whatever you got him for, really. Even if for some reason you paid a 2nd for him, it still ended up paying tremendous dividends. I don't know that continues into next year. Obviously, he's still going to be a solid player, but with Waller coming back, maybe they have to draft a stud wide receiver this year with how deep the class is and things like that. So he's definitely going to have competition, but he'll still bring you value. He does have one more year after this season on his contract. At number 7, we got the Future Baker Mayfield Award, which is Dynasty Owner's Worst Value, and the name kind of comes from, you know, as soon as the Browns pay Baker $30 million a year, their team's going to be terrible. He's going to be such a horrible value in Dynasty Owner. Nobody will roster him. He'll definitely be less owned than Captain Kirk, and it's just I always hate on him, so I had to do it. The winner of this is Allen Robinson. He's at almost $18 million a year. He only scored 87 Dynasty Owner points all season, and that was at a price of $205,517 Dynasty dollars per point. Unbelievable. It's just I I don't even have words for what happened to Allen Robinson this year. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. I love watching the guy play, but whether he was hurt or something that we didn't know about, I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't in it in Chicago. He just wanted to get his franchise tag and go, but that kind of hurts his future contract. So we'll see what happens for the future with Allen Robinson. But for this year, he wins an award that you don't really want to win. At number 8, we have the Elon Musk Award, which is the top big money player in all of Dynasty Owner. And the winner of this is Cooper Kupp at $15.75 million. He scored 440.2 Dynasty Owner points, and that came at a price of $35,779 Dynasty dollars per point. Um, that really isn't it's a value for what his contract is for sure with how much he scored. I don't know that there's a whole lot of drop off next year. I don't know that he gets close to 2,000 yards again, but maybe a little bit. I'd say probably around the let's go 390 range or so. So you're losing 50 points, but he still ends up being at a decent value as long as he avoids injury next year. And anybody that had him on their roster was extremely happy with him and likely won a championship, especially if you paired him with Jonathan Taylor. You definitely won a championship this year. If you didn't, let me know about it in the comments down below. But as far as big money players, Cooper Kupp was by far the one to have this year in Dynasty Owner. Outside of the quarterbacks, obviously, it's a little unfair. They score so much more. And that's in everything, especially super flex leagues. At number 9, we got the Justin Jefferson Award, which is the top rookie in Dynasty Owner. And the winner of this is not Jamar Chase, like I'm sure all of you are thinking. It is Naji Harris, $3 million. Let's just go 3.25 million. He scored 306.7 Dynasty Owner points, and that was good enough for $10,635 Dynasty dollars per point. As far as me putting Najee over Jamar Chase was at $23,000, 23,000 Dynasty dollars per point. So that's half of Najee Harris is half of what Jamar Chase is there because Jamar Chase is at north of $7 million a year. Najee is only 3.25. So you're getting that, and then on top of the volatility at the running back position this year, it was ugly. There was maybe 8 running backs that you wanted this year, and I could really say maybe 5 that you really, really could trust every single week, and one of them were hurting Dalvin Cook. So as far as that goes, that puts Najee Harris over Jamar Chase for me. Now, this doesn't mean go out and trade Jamar Chase for Najee Harris because I don't recommend that. I think Jamar Chase is the obvious better long-term choice, and it's just I'm a Steelers fan, so maybe I'm a little biased. Who knows? But let me know down below if you agree with Najee Harris there. I'm curious what you guys think there. At number 10, we got the Tempur-Pedic Award, which is the biggest potential sleeper moving forward in Dynasty Owner. And the winner of this was Davis Mills. He's got a $1.3 million contract. He scored 204.2 Dynasty Owner points this year, good enough for just over 6,000 Dynasty dollars per point. Davis Mills, man, people were getting him for third-round picks. You might have got him as a throw-in a trade or somebody goofed up and dropped them, or I don't know, before the season, just before the season started, they needed an extra roster, or they wanted to pick up Lord knows who, and then they dropped Davis Mills for him, and he got him on the free agent auction. I don't know, but most people got him in the third round of their rookie drafts. I know I got him in one league. Very happy with it, and as long as the Texans don't go out and draft somebody, which I highly doubt they will after the way Mills played this year, he did have a few bad games, but the bright spots were very, very bright, and especially at the end of the season against the Chargers and the Titans, man, he was cooking. That's somebody you can definitely audition in 2022, and at a salary of $1.3 million, man, you can't beat it at the quarterback position, especially if he's putting up numbers like he did at the end of this season. So I like Davis Mills as a big, big sleeper moving forward. This is probably the cheapest you're going to get him moving forward, unless he, just falls on his face and he's not the starter in 2023. But right now, maybe not right now, maybe here in about a month, that'll be about the cheapest you're going to get Davis Mills until we know who he is. At number 11, we have the Tom Brady of 2021 award, which is the 2021 MVP, plain and simple. Tom Brady's the GOAT, so the he just deserves the award to be named after him. I don't know. The winner of this one is Jonathan Taylor. He is at a $1.9 million contract. He scored 389 points. We don't need to go over that. We already did. He was the top running back in all of Dynasty owner. But what more can be said about Jonathan Taylor? Obviously, Derrick Henry probably actually not probably, he would have outrushed him. He wouldn't have got a rushing title this year if Derrick Henry doesn't get hurt. But that doesn't mean he wouldn't have scored more points than Derrick Henry. I highly doubt he would have. But at Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry's salary, there's no way he's a better value than Jonathan Taylor, no matter what way you spin it. So Jonathan Taylor, the clear-cut Dynasty owner MVP this season. I know you can argue, Josh Allen, maybe even Justin Herbert if you don't think Josh Allen deserved that top QB award, but QBs get it all the time. I don't like giving it to them. So we're giving it to a running back, and it's none other than the beast himself, Jonathan Taylor. I am very excited to see what he looks like in the future, and especially come 2022, man. He had a monster year this year. He'll be fun to watch. Just a quick little story on Jonathan Taylor this year. Before the season started, I got offered. It was a blind offer. Antonio Gibson for Jonathan Taylor straight up, and I couldn't hit accept fast enough, and I am so glad I did. He has been a wonderful addition to that team. I didn't end up winning the championship there, but that's all right. Sometimes you can't win them all. Stay tuned, guys. We got a lot of off-season content coming. Steve's handling a whole bunch of stuff this off-season. Matt the Jerk's got contracts for all these players, expiring and new. So stay tuned for that one. Nate is doing all of the rookies incoming for 2022, and I'll be coming at you with a bunch of rebuild. I got a lot of stuff up my sleeve, so make sure you stay tuned for all that, and we'll catch you guys next week because we don't stop here at Dynasty Owner. Stay